Okay, so let's go right into this. I want to summarize a lot more in this video than I did in the last video because, to be honest with you, I don't want this video to be an hour-long video. I want this to be like a 20-minute video where I explain all the things that you need to do in preparation for any potential Social Security benefit issues that you might be having into the near future. And these are things where there might be, basically interruptions in the traditional check that you receive. Now, I want to go through some basic things. First off, we need to recognize that the new commissioner is being super transparent. It says Commissioner Lee Dudek, he was put in by basically Trump to replace King, and essentially he's been releasing all these, multiple releases on what's going on that Trump wants, what the SSA is doing, and normally we don't get that much information on a daily basis that quickly on what the Social Security Administration is going to be doing going forward. So that is a really nice thing. We don't always get that. Next thing, when it comes to essentially recognizing that the SSA is about to drop 7,000 people, that it's creating systems internally to go ahead and promote the idea that these people should retire early or get out of the government industry and go into the private market, et cetera, that they're creating all these programs to get people to basically step down, step away from the SSA. We have to understand that this is potentially going to create a bunch of resulting interruptions in the benefits that people receive. Now, in the prior video, we went through all of the most recent news releases from the SSA as to what's going on, how they basically got the Social Security Fairness Act payments rolling, how basically they're cutting down the staff, how basically, going forward, essentially, they've got a lot of changes coming. And those changes, some of them good, some of them very scary. We also went through essentially what the past commissioner said, Commissioner Martin O'Malley, about how basically the Social Security Administration may be in collapse mode going forward, how there may be benefit interruptions as soon as potentially 30 to, and I'll say the exact quote, 90 days. I think that it will happen within the next 30 to 90 days. Quote, people should start saving now, he urged, right at the top. So the point is, we then went through essentially very quickly a bunch of reports about necessary changes that had to be happening at the SSA produced by the SSA. Official OIG reports, record-breaking backlog increases improper payments by over 1 billion. So you're seeing a lot more errors at the SSA when it comes to paying people. Office of Inspector General when it comes to the major management and performance challenges during fiscal year 2024, which was just getting enough people to work there. And then we also went through a little bit of the semi-annual report to Congress, which basically showed that they just can't find people to work at the SSA that they can keep. Now, I want to go through some basic things. I understand that this channel is becoming more and more popular. I understand that I'm the most viewed, subscribed to, and clicked on Disability Attorney in America. And I will get a lot of thank yous for making this video. I will get a lot of FUs for making this video. And I get that. In the prior video, people are already leaving nasty comments. It's a small percentage. We went over around 7 official documents released by the SSA, and still you will see people posting, where do you get your information from? A lot of this stuff, they're bots. They're fake accounts. They're literally cell phones set up on a big lineup, or they're digital cell phones inside the computer that are, basically hired by other channels, competitors, to create fake comments that mislead people. There's a lot of them. Okay. One of the major competitors to this channel, I took a bunch of photos of their bots on my phone from the live we did, I think it was 2 days ago. So the point is this. It is what it is. I am not allowed to cheat and create and pay for all these, cell phones to just magically go onto other, channels and post all this negative stuff. Because if I do that, will have a bar grievance. And the reason why is that I would be immoral. I would be somebody doing an unethical thing. And so unfortunately, I have to leave it up to YouTube to find the comments, find the fake accounts, and basically remove them. It is what it is. So if you see me getting a lot of things and the responses don't really make sense, that's what it is. It's happening to a lot of people that are growing. It just is the issue. Okay. Now, with that said, and thank you, Mallard the Duck. Thank you for the $5 donation. I really appreciate that. So said, Walter, I appreciate you. You are a hardworking dude. I'm 45 and have been disabled from cancer since I was 10. That is rough. That is very, very rough. And thank you, good sir, for the donation. But that's a tough situation. I hope medical things in the future are able to go ahead and work on that. They do have some new breakthroughs I'm going to be doing a video on specifically for cancer that are happening in Israel right now, which is something that might be a good option as well. Mary Multiple, thank you for the $4.99 donation. It's absolutely awesome. I always love a little fox there. With the number one, very cool. Awesome. Very, very cool. So benefit interruptions are where the Social Security Administration is not paying you enough they are paying you too much, or they pay you at the wrong time, or they stop paying you in total, right? So that's what a benefit interruption is, right? It's not hard. It's not like this crazy thing. People, when they see the title, they're like, benefit interruptions. That's never going to happen. Um, it's happening every day already under basically the system that we had. So, it's for people to be like, there's no way, there's no changes, there's no way that this could potentially happen. It happens every single day under the system we already have. I recognize that a lot of you don't get, basically those situations happening to you. But as somebody who works with people constantly calling him to fix the problem, I see it every day, a lot of times in a day. That's why a lot of people do the free sessions where they call in during the live on Mondays and Thursdays, or they do one of those private hours with me to go fix it. But again, just to kind of quote from O'Malley, and I realize he's a Democrat, and people feel like they can't trust a Democrat making a comment about this. But if I quote what he said here, real quick, is the agency could lead the entire. So the proposal cuts to the agency, and they're not proposal; they're doing it right now. Could lead the entire system to collapse, disrupting benefit payments to millions of Americans. Ultimately, you're going to see the system collapse, and there will be an interruption of benefits. So, all right, what is an interruption of benefits? Once again, it's where the Social Security Administration is not paying you enough. They are paying you too much. They pay you at the wrong time, or they stop paying you. So scary, but also be prepared. You know what I mean? That's kind of the point of this video. I'm doing this so that ahead of time that, come around June, July, you need to have this stuff working in your favor so that, some things, some bills, some rent, some food, some clothing, some transportation is paid for. So you're good to go. A real quick thank you to Celeste, who gifted 5 Social Security disability benefit membership videos. That's absolutely amazing. I see Jody, Mary, Sire, Rusty, and 12B, Georgia. Thank you for becoming a member from the Celeste donation. Also, Emilio Gonzalez, thank you for the 49 donation. And that's super awesome. Love the little horns there. Now, because I'm going to be doing a music update with you guys shortly too, because I'm really into that. But I don't do a lot with music because I'm scared of how many people will make fun of the stuff that I want to do with it. But the point is, getting right off of that, right back to the topic. All right, so here's the deal. I don't want you to fall into the benefit interruption category. I want you to be prepared about what's coming up. I want you to be aware of it. Keep in mind, this applies to retirement benefits, disability benefits, widows, spousal, SSI, on and on. Also, remember, a lot of people are claiming that Social Security benefits are not disability benefits. This is incorrect. I'm seeing a lot of this. Social Security benefits are retirement, disability, spousal, on and on. It's all the benefits available under the Social Security Administration. It's not just retirement benefits. So if you hear I'm on Social Security, that could be a lot of different programs. You have to say I'm on retirement. Just remember there's that. A lot of people are, Next thing, benefit interruptions can occur when some of the following things happen. I made a short list so that it can get people's brains working in the right direction with how this stuff is. So where you have missing information in your file, where you have incorrect information in your file, and this creates a quality control check within the SSA and can lead to benefit changes or losses. Where there's a bank issue where your bank directs the payment improperly, where there's an SSA processing issue where the numbers are changed internally and a payment does not get directed, and deposited correctly. There can be an issue where you don't communicate to the SSA your new bank info. There could be an issue where you don't update the SSA with your contact info and they can't reach you to go ahead and try and rectify the issue. The SSA could have multiple server issues and lose contact info, or something that they needed to go ahead and review with you, like old medical records, and not be able to get to hold onto this stuff and do an update status on your payment system. There could be changes to the program for eligibility where you need to interact with the SSA and it's not timely. You could have started working and the problem miscategorizes your work outside of the 9-month trial work period, and you receive an overpayment notice. There could be a stimulus, and like what happened to the SSI people during the COVID situation with the COVID stimulus, you could get an overpayment from basically OIG searching your account. You could get married as an SSI person, marrying another SSI person, and their AI system catches it, from things you post online and then reduces your benefits. The SSA could have their AI program do a mass review of your bank accounts, which then discovers deposits that put you under review and reductions or removal of overpayment status for your benefits, or overpayment status for your benefits, where basically, like a grandma or a mom gives you like a little donation here, a little donation there, a little gift here, a little gift there, things like that. The SSA could see, an improper spend down, and those mess people up. With using their AI programs, which then create a punishment procedure for the removal of benefits. And those mess people up. Let me tell you, those are rough. The SSA using AI might be able to find fraud by searching multiple government systems at the same time, and as a result, linking crimes committed of receipt of multiple benefits at the same time. So a lot of you recognize that most benefits that you receive are not stackable. They are joinable, right? They're not stackable. Like VA benefits and disability benefits, or VA benefits and retirement benefits, they're stackable because you get your military benefits and you get to stack your civilian benefits. But most other benefits in the government are joinable. That's where like you only get some of the other benefit. It's not where you get to stack them. Okay. All right. So the SSA could search available web data, which could be false, and accidentally use it as a verification tool where the processor, the person sitting there, is tired, clicks through it from being overworked and stressed, and it cuts off your benefits because some fake article said that you'd passed away. You guys see these things all the time now. So somebody passed away, so and so passed away on such and such date. And then all of a sudden, 3 days later, a brand new image of that person eating a waffle at Waffle House pops up, and you're like, oh, I guess they haven't passed away. It could be simple things too, just a technical error. One of the ones in the binary output was incorrectly coded to be a zero. As a result of this, the main thing to keep in mind is that the SSA is about to have a significantly reduced staff, which means, about 7,000 people less out of 57,000 total, which means that more stress, more errors that need to be corrected for a smaller population of workers for a massively larger population of recipients. It can be a real problem. So the point is, how do you prepare for this? How do you prepare to deal with this situation? In the prior video, we talked about Commissioner Martin O'Malley. He may be biased as a Democrat. I get that from the perspective of people watching this. I understand that the people who watch this, it's all the way from the super right, where they believe that they are God, all the way to the super left, where some of them have the multicolored hair, not all of them. And, they're screaming to the camera about, trans rights, LGBTQ, things like that. And, essentially having children and then beginning their transition at a very, very young age, stuff like that. I get, we have this and we have everybody in between. I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't believe you are God. I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't believe that, your three children are, basically individuals that would not identify with male or female. What I'm trying to say is that we have to be considerate of everybody in the spectrum and try to make sure that financially they're not put in a bad position, because we want people to have a good standard of living going forward in America. So, anyways, we did a prior analysis where we went through all these docs, but the bottom line is, how do you prepare? Well, you need to do the same thing that the SSA is doing, except in this case, you're doing it for your life, which is a full no limits audit. What are your costs? What are your expenditures? What are the things that you spend money on? Now, look, ahead of time, I need the SSI people to know, and I get it. You hardly get any money after the Biden administration, and kind of the economy we had and the cost of living adjustments not being enough and massive inflation. You don't have enough. I get it. I don't know how you could save. There's no money to begin with. I get it. So the point is, this is for the SSI people, not so much about you doing an internal audit with yourself. This is more about who can potentially give you more to offset costs that you currently have. The purpose of this video is not to give you the exact phone number, because I don't know where the hell you live. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? But rather the ideas of what you can do to prepare for potential benefit interruption. These are the groups that you are going to search and potentially call tomorrow to ask about what options they have for food, utility, rent, mortgage, safety, and travel assistance. Again, food, utility, rent, mortgage, safety, and travel assistance. I mean, there's also there's other stuff too. Like you can get dog food, you can get cat food, you can get clothing, you can get shoes, you can get bicycles, etc. But point is, the cores: food, utility, rent, mortgage, safety, and travel assistance. Cool. All right, so let's go through this real quick. I mean, there's even there's lots of things you should consider, but let's go through this real quick. All right, so who are the players that could potentially donate to you and give you assistance so that you can get that one little check ahead, that one little thing ahead, that one little boost going forward? So let's go through some of those. But real quick, please remember to like and subscribe. A lot of people, they watch, they get an idea, they don't do anything when it comes to that, when it comes to the channel. Please remember to like and subscribe. And if you want to, you can always go to Google, type in disability resolution and throw some stars up there, but it's up to you to do that. All right, real quick. These are the players that define groups that you can go ahead and reach out to that might potentially be able to assist you. Okay, so let's go through this real quick. Number one, you have to understand the federal groups that have programs to help impoverished individuals. If you are retired, if you are disabled, if you are a widow, if you have a bunch of kids, if any of your kids are disabled, if you're a disabled adult child, if you are, you know, anybody receiving any benefits under the Social Security Administration or on some poverty-based, program for food stamps or this or that or whatever, there are programs at every level of the government. You may only be accessing right now one level of the government's programs, such as SSDI, SSI, retirement, spousal benefits, whatever. You need to recognize that there's all these other levels of government assistance that can help you with paying for the mortgage, the rent, the this, the that, whatever. Okay. There's the federal government, then there's the state government, then there's the county government, then there's the town government, the city government, the local community government, the local township government, the special district government, the tribal government. There are all of these different governments that have specific assistance options that you can tap into that are put in place to help their community members. Next player. So, food stamps, Medicaid, housing assistance, low income home energy assistance, stuff like that. Then you have the nonprofits, right? They're called NGOs. So if you're like wanting to be like, quick at searching, you're looking for NGOs that basically have programs that assist impoverished individuals. And remember, even if you have some money in the bank, you are an impoverished individual. And I mean, some money in the bank, if you got like 10 grand in the bank, 15 grand in the bank, 20 grand in the bank, you are an impoverished individual. Okay. All right. So many of you have never reached out to a nonprofit in your life. Okay. The point of nonprofits is not, obviously to make money. The point of the nonprofit is to go ahead and help the community. So tomorrow is your day to give some nonprofits a call. You're going to search out the nonprofits in your state and begin making calls about assistance options. So basically, for example, nonprofits that are easy to search online, but keep searching through the pages. When you start going through Google, go through page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, you will find them. You can even go ahead and search for what are active nonprofits in your specific state. Reach out to them. They all have programs to help people. Some of them may not apply to you. I get that, but you have to begin the process of working through them. Next thing, then you have religious groups, okay? A Jewish group, a Christian group, a Muslim group, or other types of religious groups. They usually have programs set up to assist people. Some of them have housing assistance for low-income individuals. Some of them have, daycare assistance. Some of them have this. They have assistance programs available to you, faith-based groups. You can do a search online, find a big group of them, start calling them, ask to speak with the administrators. Then you have corporate and business charities. A lot of you guys don't realize, but mega corporations want to look like they are helping society. Real quick, I want to do a shout out for Princess Diana. She's one of our longest members. She did a $1.99 donation. I super appreciate it, which is absolutely amazing. Also, Puerto Rican Mike did a $2 donation. He said, so in August, things go back to normal. So here's a quick summary of the timeline. We know that they're getting rid of around 7,000 people over this month. Going into April, they're going to start to go ahead and restructure based on what they have to make the program work. You're going to see somewhere around like June, July, probably a spike in all of the problems and technical issues and backlog of things building at the Social Security Administration. As they build, right, June, July is probably where we're going to see the spike before that 20% profit increase comes through from the Trump administration, with Frank Bisignano taking over and putting new private technology operating systems in that came from his banking industry days as the mega CEO. So I would say probably best potential turnaround, somewhere around August, things will start getting better, but it could be 2026 January. It could be farther down the line. But we know that, the amount of problems that beneficiaries will have is going to skyrocket coming out of April. So April, May, June, July, we know that there's going to be some road bumps at that point. So just be aware of it. All right. Now, corporate and business charities. A lot of you guys don't know this, but places like Coca-Cola, places, like Walmart, the Walmart Foundation, Google.org, you got mega subscriber YouTubers like Mr. Beast who have entire channels devoted just to helping people. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Call them, ask them what they have available for people who need assistance. Because remember, they need people to end up on their website smiling and going like, and I was part of this corporate organization, who saved my life. And they play the video at their tennis event or their golf event or yada yada. they're looking for those people. And if you don't want to be that person, that's fine. But a lot of people would really love to have, a little bit of buffer, and those organizations are there and willing to help. Next thing, crowdfunding using websites to ask for donations. Don't be ashamed to do it. It's things are going to be a little bit tricky in the future when it comes to the SSA. So just be open to it. Another thing, you have labor unions. Labor unions you can reach out to and ask if they have assistance options. You have VA military groups. You have worker organizations. You have homeless help facilities. You have transportation assistance programs. Don't sell the homeless organizations down the road. There's a lot of people who go to those that understand that they don't have, they can still have an apartment and still seek the benefit of getting shoes, still seek the benefit of getting clothing, etc. Those programs exist because the county realizes that poor people need them. I was working at one today. I met with a bunch of homeless today. Some of them were not homeless in the traditional sense. Don't be ashamed of those programs. They're put in place by the county to help you. Now, let's talk about basically expenses. There's all kinds of coupons that are being released, but the coupons are never as good as they used to be. Obviously, the cost of living adjustment mostly screwed over people who buy, traditional brand items, brand clothing, brand food. So think about generic options. There's, of course, everybody pretty much who's retired, disabled, they pretty much cook at home. If you can get the funds together to go ahead and, basically use low energy devices to cook your food, that's always an option. But remember, that's an investment thing. Obviously another thing is subscriptions. People are moving away from subscriptions because they can't afford things. If you have never shopped in an Aldi, please consider shopping in an Aldi. Make sure you take your quarter because you're going to put it into the machine to go ahead and get your cart. Another thing is some people don't believe that they can negotiate their housing prices, etc. Some people are Section 8 and they're already kind of locked in with what the thing is. But some people have private. Letting your person know that the SSA is going through this and that, as a result of this, you might need like a year of a pleasantry year to help you out. Let the people who know the property ahead of time that things are going on, you're worried, and that you'd like them to start thinking about options of giving you a break with the upcoming year. Next thing, you can always go ahead if you have extra rooms, get roommates. I know this is limited to people who already have, a good setup with things like that, have an extra room, have extra, facilities, etc. And then, of course, there is the moving to a different area. A lot of people who live on the coast of California, you know what I mean? It's expensive. A lot of people living in Texas, Florida, it's expensive. New York, Massachusetts, it's expensive. To be honest with you, you have to move to an area that has the hospital that's going to be treating you and your impairments, but you just kind of have to live far enough away that it's cheap enough to do it. Another thing, when it comes to basically using your appliances, remember that's the big draw on your electricity. Certain appliances cost more than others. Washing machine, the dryer for your clothing. Just be aware. Start to learn which actual things cost more money. Things that you can go ahead and decrease the cost of those items. Okay. Another thing, when it comes to trying to figure out what you actually spend money on, there's budgeting apps. They're really good. They link into stuff. They tell you what's going on. They can even find. I've used them, and they found subscriptions that I didn't know I was a part of. And like some of the dating apps that I'd never signed up for, magically I had dating apps that I was paying for that I didn't realize I'd signed up for. Of course, that's not going to be your gig, but still, budgeting apps, they're there. Check them out. There's a lot of options with them. Now, the other thing is this transportation. There's a lot of groups out there, city, county based, that have special transportation options that you should look into when it comes to getting free gasoline, getting free diesel, getting a free ride, having a local bus, having a local van, like one of those white vans that picks you up, takes you to a location. Start looking into those because you never know when you're gonna have a car issue. And if you have an interrupted payment, it's going to screw up how much money you've saved to fix your vehicle if you have a vehicle. Okay, now another thing is this: when it comes to debt, the worst thing you can do right now is take out a loan. Okay, because the interest rates, they just dropped a little, but they're still shitty high, right? We didn't have a good 4 years with Biden when it comes to the economy and APRs, and obviously there was COVID. Obviously the CEOs were shitty as well, but at the same time, super consider not buying anything that's going to require monthly payments. See if you can not go into that option. I know some things you have to. I use Pay in 4 with PayPal. I know some people use Klarna. I get it. I totally understand it. But at the same time, you have to understand, if you can, just try not to buy things that have to go in a payment system. I know that a lot of you are going to be in a situation where you can't make that choice. It's like you need the vehicle, the thing broke on the vehicle, you have to make the payment. This is the gig. I get it. But just if you're sitting there looking at like a guitar, like I'm always looking at guitars because like my soul just wants to play music. You know what I mean? It just wants to play music. And I was sitting there the other day and I was just and again, I'm not gonna play, whatever. I'm ashamed to like play stuff for you. Like, because I'm so afraid of what people are gonna say because 18, 19 years ago I used to play music, but like even like this stuff, like anyway, point is like, I want to do music videos, but I'm so ashamed of how many people will attack me. I just haven't done it yet. But I want to buy guitars. There's a guitar, a Fender guitar. It's like a bass six or whatever. It's like, it's like a bass guitar, but it's a baritone. It's like in between a regular guitar and a bass guitar. I was like, oh, I've been looking at every night. I look at that thing. It's like this really like light blue or whatever. I'm like, oh, I want to get one, but I know now is not the time. I know now is not the time. Like I know that. I know that. Anyway, point is just if it's a monthly payment thing, try not to do it. I get it. You want this, you want that. I get it. Okay. And I understand the subscription thing. A lot of people, there's no way they're giving up their Disney Plus. There's no way they're giving up their Netflix, their HBO Max, their Hulu. I get it. I get it. That's like your go-to thing. I'm not saying you got to give that up. I'm just saying bigger items, just be careful. You know what I mean? And find ways to find happiness. You know what I mean? Some people it's having a tablet, watching movies. Some people just go sit someplace beautiful for an hour and see what makes you happy too. Another thing that I've had to rediscover is because there's I get so much hate from people through the YouTube channel. I mean, it's mostly love, but I get a lot of hate too. And what I've realized is that I've been abused by so many. It's mostly the cult that way and the cult that way. I get abused, and I had to like sit back and say, like, is this them attacking me, or is this them being unhappy, or are these just bots? And it's a combination of all that stuff. But find a way to achieve happiness inside you, and do it cheaply and find it quickly. Because realistically, when you fire 7,000 people, or you help them move to a different industry outside of the SSA, that's going to create problems because the amount of errors occurring at the SSA are going to build up. They won't have enough tech people or DDS reviewers or quality control reviewers or FO personnel, field office personnel to actually fix them. So, it's going to be a tough situation. It really, really is. Also, Two Elk Mobile Media, which is a really cool name. There was a store in Mount Desert Island up in Bar Harbor, Maine. I love to go up to Maine. I love Maine. I love Maine. Their food is finally starting to get really good, but the scenery is. If you ever get a chance, look up Acadia National Park. It's like the smallest park out there, but it is gorgeous. Anyway, Two Elk Mobile Media, they had a store up there called like Cool as a Moose or something. That name reminds me of that. All they sold was like t-shirts, but still, I used to buy that stuff when I was younger. But all right. With that said, thank you for the $20 donation. I don't know where my brain went with that one, but point is another thing. Don't be ashamed to always ask for a coupon. I have gone into the habit of always asking for a coupon. Did I reach out to Fender and ask for a coupon? Yes. Did Fender Guitars reach back out to me? No. Do I feel bad? No. They're Fender Guitars. They don't have time for my shit. But at the same time, it's just, ask for a coupon. It's okay. If America's most viewed disability attorney asks for coupons, you can ask for coupons. Nobody's ashamed of it. Ask for the coupon. It's a smart thing to do. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, Tara, I'm so sorry. I missed your donation. Thank you for the $1.99 donation. Let me scroll. I did. You did a $4.99 donation. My apologies. Get Shadow approved for disability. I would love to get Shadow approved for disability. He's about to have an entire hip replacement. So I would love to get that. I just literally, we don't, if I ever became president, I'm just going to be honest with you guys, we would have an entire department specifically for pets that would assist people with the upkeep of them. Because to be fair with you, I just, the older I get, the more I realize life is really precious because there's a lot of stuff on this earth that just eats life. It just gets rid of it. And I'm not saying, go vegan. I'm not saying that I eat meat. But what I am saying is the older I get, the more. Have you guys ever looked at the map of the earth? Or not a map, but like a global, globe kind of like review? And have you ever seen like how much magnetic force exists and how much of that little fuzzy area on top of the earth we have that stops the sun from irradiating and cooking like a microwave the entire blue ball. Have you ever seen like we got to take care of this place. This place, man, it's nice. It has some palm trees. It's got some nice waterways. It's nice. We should take care of it, you know. But I'm not saying you got to go full that way. I'm just saying, take a look at it. It's a nice place, you know. If you live in the city, maybe you like the city, maybe you don't. I was always one of those. Put me in the middle of a field with nothing around me and a few cows mooing over there, and I'm good. But again, to each his own. But Princess Diana, also thank you for the $1.99 donation with the little microphone. That's awesome. And okay, so with that said, Princess Diana with another donation. She's one of our longest subscribers too, which is absolutely amazing. She said, "Do you think we will get a full check next month?" Yeah, I think most of you will get a full check next month. I'm just saying, as I read through all these issues that could potentially pop up, the amount of errors existing within the SSA is going to build and build and build. And so the speed at which they can fix these errors technologically, personnel wise, administratively, it's not going to be as quick as it normally is, which is going to lead to more problems and more errors, which ultimately kind of screw up the situation. And then some people are going to have errors, they're going to have to call in, etc. So just be aware, like it is a prime setup for essentially things to go wrong and build that they won't be able to quickly process and fix. Jody Osborne, love the last name. 1999 donation, super thank you. That is awesome. She said, "Get a guitar, you deserve it, Walter. You help all of us so much." I really want that baritone guitar, but I've been holding off a little bit because I don't know what Shadow's surgery is going to cost, and full hip replacement on a dog, that's big money, and so I've been literally just like putting money away. And remember, 2024. I got hit hard. Sweetie had to have a TPLO on her left leg, major surgery. They cut the bone, all that stuff. A TPLO on her right leg, and she had cancer. So it's just like, if you guys were wondering like what I spent my money on in 2024, it was surgery. It was surgery. And to be fair, it was well-priced surgery. Like I got a pretty good deal, and it's still, like, as disability lawyers, they don't make that much. So, but still, that's my kid. So, I mean, she's a chubby piggy puff. She's a 90-pound dog, but still, that's my kid, So, all right. So with that said, and you guys have probably noticed that I haven't been doing as many videos or uploading as much with the rental property. And that's because I just, the things that I have to buy to do stuff with it, it's been slow. It's been slow. We've been getting stuff done, but it's just, Home Depot's expensive. It is way more expensive than it was 3-4 years ago. So it's just one of those things where that dream is kind of on a little bit of a hold thing right now. Every weekend I work on it, but it's just that's my future. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys realize, but me, I don't look that young anymore because I'm all beat up. Like if I get close to the camera, you'll see my face is all beat up from long hours of work. But I'm telling you, like, I don't have faith in the Social Security program being there in the long run. That's why I spent the money to get the down payment and a mortgage on that thing through the company and just keep working and trying to fix it up and then get it rented ultimately, because I'm afraid of what the future of the Social Security Administration is going to be. It's just, it worries me a lot. So, all right, another thing I just want to tell you guys, if you are essentially a disabled person, please go learn about the 9-month trial work period, the 3-month extended eligibility period, the ticket to work program options, and all the other little different work options inside the SSA. I'm not saying go back to work. I'm just saying a lot of you can't. But what I am saying is consider for a small period of time doing some work just to make sure you have a little bit of a boost, a little bit of a extra thing to it, because it's just one of those gigs where I hope you understand, if something happens, you just want to have a little bit of protection going on so that you can get the SSA back on target. And the reason why is I don't know what's going to happen with the 800 number, scheduling appointments with the SSA. Right now people are saying it takes 30 minutes to an hour and a half, but a lot of the comments are saying 2 hours to 3 hours to 4 hours to get somebody on the phone. I don't know what's going to happen with the 800 number, but there's not really a lot of ways that it can succeed unless they start having an AI chatbot inside the 800 number trying to fix problems before it even gets to a representative inside the SSA. Now, another thing that I want to go through is when it comes to credit cards, calling the credit card company and finding out what the procedure is for you having a bad month and they giving you some sort of like leniency, leeway for payment for a month, whatever. They usually have programs. If you have a credit card, or you have two credit cards, if the credit cards are high, call them ahead of time and find out what the department is, find out what the number is. That way it takes the stress off your shoulders and you know that ahead of time. Another thing is, if you can, realize there's a lot of ways to buy stuff that you normally buy in a cheaper way. There's always a way to buy it cheaper. I go and buy clothing from eBay. I go and buy clothing from this shirt came from eBay. Okay. This is a classic, I think Ralph Lauren or a fake Ralph Lauren. Oh, maybe is it? No, it's like a real. Is that a real? No, it's like a real. So this is a Ralph Lauren shirt I bought off eBay. I think it was like $12 or whatever. Point is, when I was in law school, some of the kids, they had really nice suits. I was like, well, shit, I want to be able to know how to go ahead and have a nice suit because they look good. So what I did was I bought suits on eBay, and I knew how to sew when I was a little kid, because when I was a little kid, they forced me into a sewing class, which back then was all the women. And I didn't realize European in Europe, like a lot of the men sew. You know what I mean? That's how it is with the Italian and Britain and stuff like that. But the point is, I was forced into this sewing class. And so I can sew, shoulders are a bitch, but I can sew stuff. I can go ahead and tailor it. So when I was in law school at night, I would sew stuff, and I learned how to do embroidery, serging, etc. It's just something you can fix. A lot of clothing is what I'm saying. I'm not saying you got to learn how to do it. I'm not saying you got to do it, but it's just something I've saved a ton of money on throughout my life, is learning how to sew and fix stuff. You can find all kinds of stuff. You can tailor it down. That's just a way to do it. If you have time, it's not expensive to learn how to do sewing. Hand sewing I'm very good at it, but obviously machine sewing is faster. But that's something to consider. So, Tara Denise, thank you again for the 99 donation. She said, "Last time bothering you, but my heart breaks for Shadow." I really, really do appreciate it, because it's just Shadow's the baby, and so the thing is, what they do with the leg, they cut the ball off the top of the leg. They insert this giant long metal piece way down into the leg. Sometimes they cement it, sometimes they don't. And then they go ahead and shave out an area in the ball area where it's supposed to connect up here, and place a piece up here that allows this new metal ball to connect to. It's just like a human. But the problem is there's a lot of stuff that can go wrong with it, which is why, and that's the thing. Remember, it's not just the initial surgery for Shadow. It's like, what could go wrong? And I'm going to tell you something. And I got some shit from the vets about this with Sweetie. Sweetie made Daddy look bad, because I brought her home after one of the surgeries. Okay. And I think it was the cancer surgery. And so I walked around my pool. So I walked through the gate, and I see the pool, and I pay for this pool because Sweetie loves going in it. And I know that if she has that, her muscles and her legs are going to be good. I haven't been in that pool for a very long time. I've probably been in the pool 5 times since I've been here, since I moved here in 2019. But the point is this: I keep it up because, Sweetie uses it, and she's had all those leg surgeries, so she's got to swim. So she swims in it. Point is, the pool is super green. I came back from the surgery because I had to go to a different part of Florida to do it. The pool was green. So I'm pissed. So she's not supposed to be able to walk at that point or do much, because she was just finishing her TPLO. She just had cancer surgery. So all of a sudden, I drop the leash and I go look at the pool. I'm like, what the hell is this? Before I figure out, and I swear it was 3 seconds, which is why when when parents say that their kid, they stop watching their kid for a second, and then all of a sudden they were, inside a helicopter. I get it now. I didn't get it before. I thought the parents were just screwing up. I get it now. Sweetie went 20 feet, ended up inside the green pool post-surgery. And then I had to do the phone call to my sister and the surgeon and let them know that I effed up big. I effed up huge. So anyway, I got to drag Sweetie out, put all this cleaning medication stuff on her, all that stuff. Anyway, point is, to the parents where their kid ends up inside a tractor and they're mowing down a field, I get it now. I didn't realize it before, but she wasn't supposed to be able to walk that well, and she made it 20 feet into the pool without me even looking. And they know when you're not looking. All right, so next thing. All right, things on the horizon, okay? Interest rates are supposed to get better going forward. That means don't touch shit until the interest rates get better, because 6 months, 12 months, that's all you got to wait. It's not a long period. 6 months, 12 months, interest rates are going to be better. If you need something, just put it off. Wait, it's coming. All right. Other things, when it comes to investment accounts you have, when it comes to bonds that you have, when it comes to stocks that you have, try and hold off from, selling those, from doing this, from doing that. You don't need to buy a new this. You don't need to buy a new that. Just keep reserve for right now. The biggest thing you can learn from this video is reach out to the government entities at the different levels, the county, the state, the federal, the town, the city, etc. Reach out to the nonprofits, reach out to the mega corporations that have organizations that make donations. Reach out to different groups, right? Religious groups, Masonic groups, whatever. Reach out and ask what assistance they have. Because at the end of the day, you just need to be solid, because in April, they'll officially have that significant reduction of staff, and the amount of errors that can build in their system to cause a problem for your benefits will grow and grow, and likely not be, essentially tackled until more of the end of July-ish into August and September, October, November. Remember, the point of the SSA is put in Lee Dudek as commissioner, cut a lot of the stuff at the SSA, go back to the core unit program. Then, after that, basically put in Frank Bisignano, bring over all the private organization, private company programs that are used for mega banking to hyper automate with AI the Social Security system. And then after that, if they can pull that off, yeah, this is a big ask, a very big ask, right? If they can pull that off, then you will have a hyper automated, very efficient Social Security Administration. But remember, that's a big ask, a very big ask. And during that, you're going to see the SSA is going to run into some issues. All right. Now, with that said, I will put into the comments section the much larger video we did, which went through all the different actual articles and publications from the SSA. That one has more of direct reading from reports released. I will catch you all a little bit later, but please remember to like and subscribe. Please remember, head over to Google, type in Disability Resolution Law Firm or Disability Resolution Florida, throw some stars up there. That's up to you, but they always get me excited in the morning. And with that said, please remember I go live on Mondays and Thursdays. So tomorrow I'll go live and answer questions for free from anybody that has disability legal questions. Also, if you need one of those little 1-hour private sessions, mini contract is below. I've kept the price low. I've kept it low now for a while because I know people are going through it. So I'm trying to do my part to help people with the trickier, more difficult things. So with that said, $4.99 donation from Not Now with the little hippo heads. Very, very cool. Thank you. Excellent. And then Tardities, thank you. I really appreciate it. With the $1.99 donation, that's absolutely amazing. And I super appreciate it because the largest thing that I'm going to be spending money on, and remember, I drive around in a 25-year-old truck and a 20-year-old, is it 20? No, it's 2010. No, a 15-year-old Prius. All of my vehicles look like shit. I don't care. I work with the homeless. Like, there's nothing you can say to me about like my financial standing that's going to like hurt my feelings. Please have a crust. Please start to have a crust. Stop trying to impress people if you are. They don't matter. You matter. They don't matter. You matter. Okay. Rust on a car. It's okay. You don't have the nicest this. You don't have a nice doormat. It's okay. What matters is your happiness. Go find what makes you happy, because it might be a hell of a lot cheaper than what you've been paying for to make you happy. I have found that. The things that I thought would make me happy actually don't. And that was I just recently realized that. So, because I've been trying to find happiness and trying to like find what I'm going to be in my future, yada, yada. So, Princess Diana, thank you. Oh, I didn't see the $5 donation. Let me see. Yes, you did. It's not much, but this is for shout out. I super appreciate it. And again, a $2 donation. And just as a heads up, guys, Diana has been with us. There were, I think it was like we had like 1,000 subscribers going back to that time. The only person I know that's been subscribed or a part of the channel more than and longer than her was Leanne. Leanne was part of the channel back when there was like dinosaurs and caves. So I just really super appreciate it, and super thank you, Diana. That's absolutely amazing. But I will catch you all a little bit later. You have a wonderful night. I will catch up with you tomorrow, and we will go from there. And please take care of yourself, and please be safe. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you later. All right, bye-bye, everybody, and have fun, and we'll go from there. Thank you so much. Bye.